Hey, good morning, folks. We are on day 2 here. I hope you like that drone footage. I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday, but we flew around a little bit this morning. But my main focus was to drill this hole in the wall, which I'm still going to try and do. But boy, it is cold. It was like starting off at like 12 degrees this morning. I'm going to try and warm up a little bit and maybe focus on getting outside. But the main thing I'm going to do today is, as much as I don't like buying cable from Lowe's, since I ran out, this was the fastest way to get it. I got an extension cord. That other beam I talked about, I'm gonna try and mount it up under here just to give another bracing into this. And then we got the USB cable, so we're gonna be pulling USB, sending the audio from the computer to the board over USB to hopefully get rid of the RF noise, the electrical noise from all the power cables. Want to reposition and get my mind straight on sorting out the cabling. Again, this cable that's going to this camera is already ran all the way to the front. The idea is to pull that up out of the way, the Ethernet cable, run that over to where the camera is going to be in the front. The video cable, the HDMI that is going source to display, that was up here, I'm going to reposition that and extend that and connect that to that TV so that that would be the run for that. We also need to extend the HDMI from here, which is also for here, run that back here to get here so that both TVs will get displayed, then run one more cable in reverse so it's source to display for the front camera. We'll do that. Also need to put it's just one. I'm mixing my churches up. Mix one shielded cable that's going to go to the XLR to Ethernet converter, put that in the ceiling and run that in a location. Might try and put it up under the pew or something like that. We also need to run another cable. I think it's long enough. I might actually just go in, no, because I got to drill a hole in there. We need to run a cable into pastor's office so that he can get a display on his TV. We also need to run another Ethernet cable into the fellowship hall so that we can put the access point there. And that's what we need to do. So let me go to the restroom real quick, and then we're going to start with trying to do the simple stuff, and then I'll break out the ladder, start doing this, and then also that obviously means we have to hang the camera. I don't have a ceiling mount. I have the regular mounts like I have up here, so we need to position where that's going to be first to make it easier for the cabling as well as for the viewing, because there is a baptismal pool in up here. So I thought we were deciding on the left side, but I can't remember what it was decided on to get the best angle for when people are going in the baptismal, and we don't want to be looking at the top of their head. We want to be able to get a good shot. So we'll figure that out, but let me go here and we start focusing on that stuff. Alrighty, so with these boards, we could also run the audio over USB. So the computer was connected via these cables, and just because of all the electronics and all this other stuff, that's why most of the time when I use a board, I will connect it over USB, and it just gives a cleaner audio every time. Most of the time I've used this, so we are going to do that, and hopefully that will solve this. And this was an extra cable that I did have left over. So my apologies on that. So we'll connect that here, and I did download the drivers on the computer before I disconnected the internet. But like I said, worst case scenario, I will run the cable and just connect the Starlink and put it back on the ground until I run the cable. And I need to get a good placement on where the hole needs to be. So I might do a pilot hole, because we're going to go through some wood here and then we're going to hit brick outside. So we just need to be careful on that. And while I'm doing that, I left my extension cord here, and that's going to be for my drill, but I got another one for them that will be permanently here for that rack. And might see. So when he comes back to do the electrical, do you think it's possible that he could also put an outlet kind of close to where that rack is? I got an extension cable that will plug it in. I mean, I'll probably say, he could put it right beside that. I mean, because we got a, what's that, about like a 4-foot cable. So anywhere in that vicinity, under the rack.
Under the rack?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
All right. So I'll leave it with this extension, but for right now, so that everything will be powered on. But that'll probably be easy, especially since all that's new and they're going to put another outlet under the TV.
Okay, no problem.
All right. All right, thank you. So again, this is for the time being. And I was sitting back thinking, I still got another one of those steel struts for the TVs that we did in Oxford. I could probably put that up under there, and that would be shorter, but it all depends. I might bring that back to secure that and just give a little bit more of an anchor for this equipment. I need to put this piano bench back as well too. And maybe I can reach that plug, because this is not being used. So we'll plug that into there. And everything is turning on. So that's good. We put the door back up there. So let's make sure we got sound and everything. Also need to make the cables for all of this stuff. I am going to run a cable directly for the computer so that all of this does need to be turned on so that the computer will still have internet. I do have a piece of conduit, so we'll be able to run the cables. They are probably going to run it straight down against the wall over here, come down here so that it doesn't block the sensor, and then run it across probably up under that beam so it can go down right behind the computer. But let's make that cable real quick and then we go from there. Alrighty, so I repurposed that cable like I told you. So that is using that. So we got the front. This one I need to unscrew from it being bolted down that way, so that way I can use, well, we're going to need a much shorter cable, but that's going to be the one for the back TV. This Ethernet cable, that's what's going to be used for the camera in the front. We're going to pull that back over and drape it down to go into there. And then I need to run another cable from here back up in this direction. So, and then run another HDMI cable there for that for that camera. So that's what we got. I've also hooked up the amp in the front with the connectors I had to see if this amp is the problem. If not, if it is, then we switch that out. And we got a whole lot of extra cable that I got to put back up in the ceiling. I didn't realize I had that much in there when I ran that originally. But let's see if we can get some sound through the front amp. Alright folks, I have not been recording long because we've been working, but we got the front camera there, it's on the table. I haven't mounted that. We got the audio ran, so the house is run. The monitors are hooked up. I ended up using the converter and put it on channel number 4 and just swapped the connections, gender swapped them so that we can use that. Got to turn that down because there's a little buzz, but that is not anything major. That's actually just because of the connection. Might get a male to male or a female to female cable, so I don't need to use that. I might order that. We got most of the cables ran. All this HDMI one is the one that's running to the front. I need to walk the ladder down and put the cable up in the ceiling for that. Because I'm trying to think. Because that's going all the way up to the one that's in the corner. Right there. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And then the other cable that I have on the floor right here, might repurpose that, and when I do that, run the cable directly for the camera that I have just hooked up to the one that was originally on the wall right there. Pretty much what we're going to decide is once all this is cleaned up, all of this is going to run. They're working on probably putting a trap door up under here, so all these cables will be ran smoothly from here. But the idea is the Ethercon cable is going to run this way, going to be tacked down instead of where the HDMI is. The speaker wire will go there as well too, and the coax that's going feeding the TV in the fellowship hall, that's going to go there as well. This other one right now, the HDMI cable that's on the floor, that's the one that is, gotta remember which one that's going to. That's the one that's going to the camera, because this is the end of the one that's already here. See, this is the source. So technically, I really don't have to do that. Let me take that back. We have to pull the cable back out of the wall that's going to the TV. That's the reason I didn't touch that. I'm gonna leave this cable here because this can be used, repurposed, because the idea is if we run the cable from here in this conduit to where the camera is, we can just hook a coupler up to this and that will be fine. And then that cable is already ran. We just have to get from under where the cable is going up under the platform to pull that and run it back up under to the ATEM. What we're gonna do is, I'm procrastinating because I don't want to go outside. I'm gonna move my ladder, pop the tiles while I'm walking it back in place, drill a hole, get outside, and then mount the Starlink up there. That's what we're gonna focus on doing and get that out of the way. So let me move this and we go from there. Folks, we've been super busy, mainly outside. We got the Starlink and all that hooked up, but more importantly, we have the front camera set up as well too in its position here. I'm tired and I have 3 minutes before my alarm goes off to leave, but we're gonna be back tomorrow, move this cable in the ceiling, put all the other cables in the ceiling, clean up everything that we have here, tack down the stuff on that side, clean up the booth, mark all the mics, hang the access point over here, run a cable for the other one back there, run another cable for pastor's office, and I may be able to tap into, I thought I ran a SDI cable down the hallway and then want to tap off of that and put a splitter in his office, and then that way I wouldn't necessarily have to run a new cable because we already ran it. But We're doing real good. I am tired. Sorry for the short video, but again, it's just been running around in the cold is really messing up stuff. Let me let him see how everything is, and then we're hitting on the road. I have a Zoom consultation at 5, and we'll be back tomorrow at 9. So I'll lump these two together. Well, no, I'm not. I'll finish this one up depending on the length, and then we'll just see y'all tomorrow. Now, I know I was getting ready to leave, but see, we got the access point there. We're gonna run, access point, Starlink there, but because of the angle, what we're gonna do, hopefully when it gets warmer, because the internet is working now, we're gonna tack it down, but the idea is gonna pull that off, and I had to do the same thing with my mom's and get on the roof and screw it into that, because it's not flat enough, because the drain spout is in the way from that. So I'll have to can take that whole thing, or I might just get another mount and screw it into the roof and then put it there. So that's what we're thinking about doing. Well, not thinking, that's what we're gonna have to do. But let's go home.